Hi, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and today I will be bringing you some 3D layered paper designs. So for the first design, we're going to do this a 3D cat card. So I have the cutouts already done from the Cricut, and since I do not have a scoring blade, then I picked my design, went to customize, and turned off all the scoring portions of the card. And then I did my cutouts. Now I'm just using some glue stick, and I don't want to glue the kitty cats down because they're the pop-up part of the card, so you want to make sure you go around those. And then I'm just putting my glue all around the rest of the card. Excuse me. Once I get the glue on, then I'll put my pink piece of cardstock on top of my red piece of cardstock, and then I'll use my brayer to press it down. Now, I use the lightweight and the medium weight cardstock for this project, so you just want to be sure to use the appropriate settings when you go to cut out your pieces. So you want to leave a little bit of edge all around your pink card there. So you want the red showing around the edges. Once you get it laid down to where you want it, then that's when you use your roller and press it down. And I also use my roller when I put my paper on my mat to cut it. I do have a Cricut maker, so it does help a lot, let me tell you. I didn't know that little hack. I saw other crafters do it, so yeah, it works really well to keep your paper on the mat. So here I'm just taking my ruler and I am going to score the places that need to be scored since I don't have a scoring blade. So I did pick up the scoring pin from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to score it where the design says to score it. And I go over it a couple times. Now, only the pink portion of the card gets scored here for this part. So there I am making the fold where the little kitties pop out. And now I'm going to score the second portion, which is right under the kitty cats. And this is what makes this a pop-out card. Again, I'm just taking the pink card and then folding it where I just scored it. So there you can, well, you could have seen where the kitties were popping out. Now I'm folding the card in half. And then I'm going to use my bone, I don't remember what they call it, a bone something or another, or maybe they just call it a bone, to make a crisp fold there. And now we're going to start putting our design together. And when you do this, then you want to start using your foam dots, your adhesive dots. I've had these for a long time. I used to scrapbook. So you can get foam dots and squares at the Dollar Tree. They have them in, let's see, the crafting section. They have it where they have hooks and stuff, and then they also have it in the, I don't know if it's a school section or something like, maybe the office supply section. So they have it in several places in the store. So If you don't have any, you can get them there. So I'm just peeling off the backs of the dots. And then we'll put our little kitty outline on top of the pink card there. So we have these hearts on the side, but I'm going to add that cat that's in between the hearts on there first. Sorry about that. So I'm just going to turn that cat head over and then add my dots to it. So I'm placing my dots at the ears there, and then one at the bottom. And these little backs, let me tell you, they stick to you, they get everywhere. It's kind of messy, but you just have to deal with it. I guess they have static electricity in them, and they want to stick to you real bad. So there we have one of our kitty heads on there, and I'm going to add those red hearts on. And for each layer, you do want to add the foam pieces because it gives it dimension. There we have our hearts on, so we're going to move on to the upper cats. And actually, I gave this card to my daughter, who is now living with us. So she is going to send this to her husband, who's in California, for Valentine's Day, because they do have 3 kitty cats that are here with us. And so this card's going to be from their kitties. So I kind of made the kitties look like her kitties. The top 2 kitties are a brother and a sister, and then the bottom kitty is her older cat, Oreo. And no, her cats aren't red and pink, but you'll see. You just do the layers in different colors, and then the top portion is the part that actually gets seen. Nothing like getting a phone call and a voicemail while you're doing your voiceover, is there? So you put your dots on the top pieces, and then I need some dots on the bottom piece of this kitty head. So the round dot was too large, so I cut it in half. So you can always cut your foam dots. So Oreo is a white and black kitty cat. So you see we have her white face on there right now. The other two kitties are basically gray kitties. One is gray with a little bit of white on him. His name is Sergeant Tibbs. That's him right there. We're going to put a black head on him, and then we'll put a gray head on top of that. But you'll see these turn out so cute. And this is already a design in Design Space. So just type in a 3D and the 3D things will come up, or you can type in layered projects. You want to do it under the projects when you're searching. So the sister to the other kitty, her name is Chloe, and she's a gray kitty, calico. Now, you don't want to throw away this thing that holds all your little dots, because guess what? You can use those pieces when you run out of dots. Sorry if you hear my stomach growling. It growls all the time, whether I feed it or not. So I just continue to use pieces of that grid there that held the glue dots, or the foam dots on there. You can use the whole thing, so don't throw it away. Very useful. You know us crafters, we keep everything. I wanted to keep all these parts in here so you could see how I put the foam dots on each piece. If you put too few dots on there, it's not going to hold up just right. You know, it'll go flat in places, so you want to make sure you get enough dots on there. And you don't want to put it in the same place every time either, if you can help it. So you just cut your foam pieces to fit the faces there. So I'm going to put a piece down by the chin, and that should be it for this cat head. This card turned out so cute. And now here are the two side pieces for the white kitty. This is what makes it look like Oreo. And it really does look like her. I had one of the round dots left over, so I just cut it in half. You just want to line it up, make sure you get it on there right. We'll do the other half. Let me know if you've tried layered cards or 3D cards. This was my first time doing this. I actually enjoyed it. I have a ton of cardstock from where I used to do scrapbooking, so it was good to use some of that up. So there's the other half of her face. Look at that. Does she not look like an Oreo kitty? And now these other kitties get their little faces there. In the middle, their little mouth and noses. So again, I'm just taking little pieces of the foam there. I mean, just little bitty pieces. So I'll put one down by the chin and then one up at the top. And I think that's all you're going to need. I think that's all you can put on there. Or I could be wrong. Let's see. Maybe I put that piece on the top and I'm cutting another piece for the chin. Nope, for the cheek. What is it? Oh, it's on the bottom side of the cheek there. So you put several pieces of the foam stuff on there. It just helps hold it up. I think I decided against that piece, but there we go. No. I thought that's where we were going to go. No, we're going to put another piece on there. Now it's ready. So that one is Chloe. She's actually like a gray calico kitty. She has more brown on her now than she did before, but Chloe and Sergeant Tibbs are brother and sister. And then Oreo is probably about, I don't know, 15 years old or something like that. So our daughter and granddaughter moved in with us at Christmas. And yes, we now have 5 kitties at the house and a doggy. So our house is pretty full. Our son-in-law is going to be retiring from the Air Force, and he is still in California. So he will, once he gets out, be moving to Texas. And they will be getting a house here in Texas once they sell their house in California. So we'll see how all that works out. They may be staying with us for a while. So we're getting Sergeant Tibbs' face ready, putting the foam on it. I have to tell you guys, these are so cute. So cute. And like I said, this was already a design on Design Space. And then I forgot to tape this part here, but I put the little fishy on with the foam. And then here's the overlay Already got the foam on it. So there's going to be a little goldfish down there. Have to add a little bit more foam on it. I didn't get quite enough on it. You can kind of tell when you apply it and there's not enough because it kind of sinks in a little bit. So I need to add some right there on his tail. There we go, our little fishies already. Our card is complete. Just folding it there. Getting it to pop out a little bit. There we go. There it is. It's so cute. Our little kitties, our 3 kitties with the hearts and the fishy and the little feet pitter patter. The kitty feet. So cute. And there it is. I love it. I'm sure her husband will like to get that for Valentine's Day. And now we're going on to our 3D layered cafe scene. Okay, now I have these thicker dots that I've had for a long time, and I'm cutting them in half so that half of the side actually has adhesive on it, and the other half of the side does not have adhesive on it. So I want to tell you guys, what am I doing here? So this is another card that is in Design Space. And what I did was I took this glue on the side that does not have sticky on it, and I glued it down on the back of one of the card pieces. But you do not want to do this, because once you take the tab off, it is just too sticky. So what you want to do is you want to take the tab off and then put the sticky side down on your card, and then you can put the glue on the glue dots, and you'll see that later. Not on the glue dots, on the foam dots, because I had a rough time with these, and you'll see it. You'll see it. So I'm putting a bunch of these dots on. Like I said, this was the thicker foam dots. I was just using what I had, so I wanted to use them up. And they were so thick I could cut them in half. So I'm just taking the backs off of these. But yeah, my fingers were sticking to them, and now I try to get my finger off, and my other finger would stick to it, and it was just a disaster. So I got this little pointy thing, and I was trying to hold it down and do it, and then it was getting stuck to it, and really, it was ridiculous. So yeah, don't do that. And the reason being is because when you go to pull the backs off, that glue is not dry, so the foam dot comes up with it. So yeah, I'll show you the right way to do it in the next layer. Learn from my mistakes. Now what I did was I layered the card on the side there, And then I'm taking off the bottom layer and adding it on to what we're doing here. That way I didn't get confused as to what layer to do. So here I got smart, and I'm pulling the backs off of the dots and then laying them down. And I'm still using part of the dot package from the previous DIY, because you don't need to throw that away. You can use it. Just because it's not a dot doesn't mean it won't work. So I'm just cutting pieces, putting it on there. I left all this in there so you could see how I put the foam on each piece, because you want to make sure that you have enough on it, that your design stands out the way it should. Every time my stomach makes a growling sound, I want to say, "Feed me, Seymour." So get these skinny pieces and put them on the sides there. And now I'm adding the glue to the back of the dots. And this is the easier way to do it. Work smarter, not harder. Right? And let me know if you guys like these paper 3D layered projects. If you do, then I'll try to do more. Design Space doesn't have a huge ton of them, but it does have some. I just like the idea that I can use up some of my scrapbooking paper, because let me tell you, I have like 3 drawers, deep drawers full of this stuff. And I need to use it. So I just wanted you guys to see the placement of the foam dots on each layer. I really liked this cafe scene. The only thing was I didn't particularly care for the faces of the man and the woman. They look a little weird. And you'll see what I mean later. I'm just going to put these little thin pieces around the edges there. Now I'm just putting glue on the back of those dots that don't have any sticky on them. So you want to try to line up your pieces as best that you can. Now we're on to the man and the woman there. Cutting some of the dots in half. Putting it there on their coffee cups. Putting a little strip of the foam on the umbrella pole. So let me know in the comments if you've tried something like this and how did it work out. I thought this was cute. They had a little cafe with their cups of coffee. See that the floor there with the squares? That's cute. So when you're doing these cards or these 3D layered paper crafts, you definitely need your foam pieces. And like I said, you can get these pieces from the Dollar Tree. You can get some that are already cut in little bitty squares. You can get rolls of it that you cut yourself. I mean, just all different kinds of pieces of the foam. Going around the edges again with the foam, little foam pieces. Adding my glue to the pieces that I had cut in half. And now we're ready to add this layer on. You want to line it up. Now we're going to work on our coffee cup. And it has steam coming out of it. It's so cute. It's so cute. I probably should have waited until later to put the coffee cup on, and I think you'll see that in a little bit once I start adding the parts to the people on there. I love the steam coming up out of the cups, and then it looks like it's making a little heart. So cute. So cute. And you use a lot of the foam pieces, let me tell you, a lot. So you want to have a bunch on hand if you take on a project like this. And really, let me know in the comments if this is something you all like to see. And if it is, I'll try to do more of it. And then I realized, oh my goodness, I put these on the wrong side. Can you believe that? I can. Ugh. So now I had to take all my dots off, put them on the other side. Lucky enough, they didn't stick really bad. I cannot believe I did that. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, really, Liz? Did you just do that? Yes, yes, I did. It happens. Now, of course, if you have the thinner foam dots, you're not going to need to cut them in half and put the glue on them. I'm just using what I have because, like I said, I have a ton of scrapbooking stuff and I need to use it before I go out and buy other supplies. And this is where I take the cup off because you can see their hands go up underneath it there. So I'll put the cup back on in a little bit. So this glue does move around because it's liquid. Now I put the cup back on. And you see how that glue backing piece just keeps getting on my fingers? Drives me crazy. So here's some more pieces of the people. This time I learned my lesson and I put them on correctly. I think, didn't I? Yes. Yes, I did. You go, girl. You did it. We're going to add another layer on. And this is the part I was telling you about their faces. I don't know, I just don't like around their mouths. It just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't look right. Just a little weird. I really have fun making these though. And they have hair too. Let's put his hair on. Oh, I'm sorry. That was her dress. I thought that was hair. That's her dress. Oh my gosh. Really? Okay, here's his hair. Well, if you can't laugh at yourself, what is life about? Here we go. He's going to get some hair. Look at that. He's got hair. We're going to give her some hair too, but we're going to put his clothes on first. There we go. There's her hair. There she is with her hair. Now she gets her dress. And now we have the umbrella. And that is it. Here we go. But you can't really tell what I mean about the faces, but you'll see if you go to Design Space and look at it. It looks a little weird, but there it is. I think it turned out so cute. And now we go on to our 3D unicorn in a forest. So again, I cut out my pieces and I got me some new foam pieces here. This piece was kind of over in the automotive department. These little squares were in the crafters area. And I'm just adding these to the pieces that I'm putting together here. So I'm lining these up. And then, so I only added the foam to part of it, and I'm going to add the foam pieces to some more of it. Going to put this in here behind this tree. There's some spots that you can't get foam in, but other spots you can kind of put it in here and there. You just kind of have to work with it, try to figure it out. Of course, you don't want your foam pieces to show through your project there. This is our third layer. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put a piece of the foam in the corner there, and then I'm going to place it down, and that way it'll hold my piece together while I add the other foam pieces to it. So I don't need to use any glue or anything with this. This is some new foam that I bought because I used up all the other stuff. And I'm just peeling off the backs because you know it's sticky on the front and the back. So I have the big pieces, and then I have the smaller pieces. So I'm just going to continue adding where I need to add. Here I am using the little small squares from the crafter square. These are just little itty bitty squares, and they work well around the frame of this piece. Just the perfect size. So what I do is I place my little foam pieces down. Once I have them down here, then I'll take the backs off of them. I think this one turned out so well. Again, this was another one from Design Space. And it didn't have any scoring on it. So we didn't have to do any of that. And this piece, I just left it as is in Design Space, and it turns out to be about a 9" by 9". Okay, so once I have all my foam pieces on there, I'm going to take the backs off of it. Then you want to lay it down and press it down with your hands. And now you go on to the next layer. And on this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put one of the larger squares in the corner there. And take the back off the foam square. And then put my top layer on it. And then I'll start adding squares all over the piece. So I'm going back to the little squares along the edges of the piece. So you can kind of feel where the other squares are, and you can put these little squares in between those so that you're not putting everything in the same place every time. Now that I have, let me see, I'm going to add another piece. Yep. Oh, no, it was up too high. I need to take it down a little bit because you don't want it to be seen. Now I'm just going to take the backs off all of these and then lay it down, press it down. There we go. And now we're on to our last piece, and that's the unicorn. And, yep. I just think this turned out so good. And then what I do in the end is I add a full piece of white cardstock underneath this, because the frame I got for it was a little larger than the 9" by 9". And you'll see that in the last picture. So what I did was I went and got a frame from Hobby Lobby. It was just a picture that I took the pieces apart and everything. And it's just a black frame that I got for this piece. And I thought it went really well with it. This will be a gift for someone. It's going to put some foam dots behind the unicorn, but you can only put it on the spots where, you know, there's backing behind it. So that you can't put it in too many places. Just where the trees and the bushes are. I tell you what, I am so sick of Scam Likely calling me. Leave me alone. So we have T-Mobile, and if they think it's a scam call, it'll come up as Scam Likely. Man, he calls me way too often. Now when I put this piece in a frame, I wanted to make sure that it had glass on top of it, because I didn't want it to be out, you know, collecting dust, because it would be really hard to dust something like this. Just pulling off the backs, pressing everything down. There it is. Oh, I love it. It just looks so good. And then here it is framed in the black frame with the white cardstock behind the piece that we did. Let me know what you all think of these projects and which one is your favorite. I guess I would have to say the unicorn is my favorite. I think it turned out really, really well. But I like doing them all. And like I said, if this is something you like to see, let me know in the comments. Again, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you like what you see, please feel free to do so, and give me a thumbs up if you like it. And share my videos with those that you think might like this type of craft. And I'll see you in the next one.